Hello, Dr. Leona Allen here, Freedom Health Systems, and I'm here to help you achieve more freedom in your health and your life. And a couple of days ago, they had revealed this study. And honestly, I've heard about this for quite some time, so I'm still kind of confused why this is considered a new study because I've known about this for at least a decade about the chemicals in black hair products. But anyway, I thought it'd be a good time to revisit this topic, especially now that I'm doing a series called The 7 Habits That May Be Sabotaging Your Health. And actually on July 24th, I'll be talking about personal care products, skincare products, hair care products, and how they may be putting your health at risk. So seeing this article was actually good timing, and it actually encourages me to have a conversation about this and make sure I talk about this in my next segment in this series that I'm doing. So here, there's many articles about this, but I'll just choose this one. But again, you can just Google it and research and you'll find a lot of articles. But I'm going to try to simplify it for you if you have not seen this. So here we have a new study that reveals chemical in black hair care products increases the risk of breast cancer. And here they're talking about parabens that's found in many of the products that do trigger breast cancer cell growth that research finds. So I'm just going to go through this article with you and then add my own commentary. But here it says that black hair care has become a multi-billion-dollar business, and many of the products depend on chemical formulas to make them work. But a new study reveals a toxic hair chemical in hair products for black women may increase the risk of breast cancer. And, I really want women to know this, especially black women. We go through a lot to make our hair look the way it shouldn't. We invest a lot in skincare and personal care products to alter our appearance. But personally, I've been natural since the 90s. And I'm a big advocate for natural hair. So for those of you that are still on the fence or still applying these toxic chemicals to your hair, I really want you to understand what you're doing and the risk that you're taking with that decision. So that's why I'm doing this series, because these are habits that you're doing knowingly and unknowingly. And a lot of your habits you're doing daily, quarterly, weekly, whatever it is. But it's important that you understand the consequences of a lot of these habits and decisions that you're making. And your choice of personal care is huge. We use an average of 12 products or more daily to enhance our appearance. But we need to be making better choices because we're actually dying to be beautiful. We're actually creating a more toxic situation in our bodies in an effort to straighten our hair or enhance our skin and eyes and all these other things that we tend to do. So let me read a little bit more of this. According to a study from Breast Cancer Prevention Partners, parabens, which is a group of chemicals that prevents mold and bacteria from growing on beauty products, can trigger the growth of breast cancer cells. Now, think about this. Parabens. This is a chemical and has nothing to do with improving the product. It doesn't make your hair straighter or it conditions the hair. It doesn't do anything beneficial. It's used to prevent mold and bacteria from growing in the product that can trigger breast cancer cells. So they don't just do this with products, they do this with food and everything. These are like a preservative for longer shelf life so they can sell the product. So at the end of the day, this is put in for profit, not for enhancing the product. So I'm trying to help you learn to discern this stuff, to really kind of read through the lines, but they're putting these chemicals in the product to enhance the product, not to benefit the purchaser. Let me continue. The study reported that while over 90% of people in the United States have parabens in their bodies, 90% have this chemical in their bodies. Higher concentrations were found in women and Black Americans. Additionally, hair products marketed and used in Black communities are more likely to contain parabens. So let me rephrase that. A lot of these products that are marketed to Black women contains this breast cancer causing chemical. One reason for the higher risk of breast cancer may be exposure to harmful chemicals called endocrine disrupting chemicals in hair and personal care products. These chemicals mimic the effects of hormones on the body. So again, these parabens mimic the effects of hormones on the body. And I've been saying this for a long time. We know as Black women, we are prone to fibroids. In my practice, the majority of the women that have fibroids are Black, and the link that I find between fibroids is history of these toxic chemicals, hair relaxers that contain these parabens. All right. So if you're dealing with fibroids and you're dealing with hair relaxers, there is a link. It's not saying that in this article, but I have found that in clinical practice. A survey that searched for hair care products that are paraben-free showed that fewer of these products are marketed to African American women. However, Trevino also suggested that more research is needed. So they're saying that the chemicals, the products that contain paraben are more likely to be marketed to African American women than non-paraben products. Okay, and here's another study that they mentioned that this was conducted by City of Hope, was part of a community-led project called the Bench to Community Initiative, which works with scientists, community members, and breast cancer patients to reduce exposures to dangerous chemicals in hair and personal care products by Black women. It's good that we have these community projects that are trying to educate and work and help reduce these exposures. But we also have to take our matters in our own hands and start to look at these labels, start to do our research, and find out which of these products have more of these cancer-causing toxic chemicals. So that's why I'm doing these series, because I want to teach you. We don't want to wait until they start to remove these chemicals, because it's money making. Okay, I'm just going to keep it real. They're making money from this stuff. They don't want the products to go bad on the shelf, so they add a lot of these chemicals so they can sell them. Then they're marketed to certain groups, and then that certain group ends up at risk for these diseases that they're talking about. So we can't rely on the stores to pick the product. We can't rely on these organizations to make sure they fix the problem for us, but we can take control on our dollar and the choices that we make. I'm going to go into much more detail in how we can start to take matters in our own hands and learn how to read these labels and make better choices, because this has been going on for a very long time, but you can start to make these decisions today. You got to choose what's important, your health or the straightening of your hair. So this is really important, and you got to join me. Register for part 4. We're going to be talking about not only how hair products can be sabotaging your health, but we're going to be talking about other personal care products such as lotions and makeup and things like that, because this is very important to know. So let me go ahead and finish off this article. Boston University's Black Women Health Study tracks 59,000 participants who enrolled back in 1995 and did not see a connection between moderate use of hair relaxer and higher risk of breast cancer. However, a study did state heavy use of lye hair relaxers may be associated with more aggressive form of breast cancer. Okay, at the end of the day, it's an endocrine disrupting chemical. It puts you at risk. You don't want to play Russian roulette with this. So first we got to get true to why we want to alter our hair in the first place, and then make decisions based on that. So this is a deeper issue, and I have to make another video about why we as women, not all of us, but many of us, choose to put these chemicals in our hair. There's a deep underlying issue to that, and that's really what I'm about, is getting to the cause. You know, because some of you are going to respond to me, well, is there a safe hair relaxer? There may be a safer version, but at the end of the day, they all contain toxic chemicals that could sabotage your health. So we got to take it deeper and start to understand why we want to do this in the first place. Why do we want to take the curls out of our hair? Why do we not want to have our natural hair? And that is another conversation that we need to have. So again, join me on July 24th for part 4 of the 7 habits that may be sabotaging your health. It's a 7-part webinar series, and we're going to go into this a lot more. And let me read this final paragraph in this article. Black women have a 41% higher death rate from breast cancer, according to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Okay, so not only are they increasing our chances of getting breast cancer, we have a higher death rate, meaning we have a lower survival rate. So if we get breast cancer, we are more likely to die from breast cancer. And what we put in our hair and our bodies is something that we can control. We cannot reduce our effect 100%, but we can reduce it significantly by being aware of the chemicals that are putting in our products, in our food, in our water, in our skincare products, in our hair care products, and many other products that we use daily. So just wanted to share that real quick and make better choices. Register at drleonaevents.com. And until then, go out there and achieve more freedom in your health and your life.